Hey guys, and welcome to today's daily yoga routine. To start off, you can either meet me in a cross-legged position like this, or you can sit on your shins, whichever is most comfortable. From here, we're going to lay our hands on our laps, just in a nice relaxed position, closing our eyes as we take a few breaths just to settle in. Breathing in through your nose, and sighing everything out through the mouth. Last one, breathing in and out. Keeping your eyes closed, we're going to go through a few neck rolls, bringing our chin to our chest and rolling our head so our left ear meets our left shoulder, holding for a second before slowly rolling forward, bringing our right ear to our right shoulder. Going through a few more times back and forth. Breathing in the one direction, or exhaling in the other. Going through one more. And on your last exhale, we're just going to roll our head all the way back and repeat on the back end. So starting with our right ear on our right shoulder, rolling our head back, letting our left ear meet the left shoulder. Going through a few more rounds at your own pace. Feeling a nice deep stretch in your neck. One last round before finally meeting me back with your head in neutral position. From here, you can either keep your eyes still closed or you can open them up. And we can move on for a twist by placing our left hand on our right knee with our right hand right behind us, and then twisting our bodies, folding our right shoulder back, maybe even seeing if you can look behind you over your right shoulder. Holding for 2 full breaths. And on your last breath, exhale, bring it back to center and moving on to the other side. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind, and looking over your left shoulder. Finally coming back to center. We're now going to go through a variation of cat-cow. So by staying in a seated position, you're going to take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you do, you're going to pull your shoulders back, pushing your chest out and letting your head hang back. And as you exhale, you know, round your shoulders, bringing them forward, bringing your chin to your chest, rounding your back for variation of cat. Inhaling to pull your shoulders back and puffing out your chest. Cow. And exhale to cat. Going through 2 more at your own pace. And on your last exhale, meet me back into a neutral seated position. From here, we can swing our legs over, coming onto our hands and our knees for a tabletop. Doing some circular motions around your wrists just to get them nice and warmed up, keeping your feet either tucked or untucked, whichever is most comfortable. Going around in a clockwise or anti-clockwise rotation. before finally swapping and moving in the opposite direction. Getting everything nice and moving, maybe even doing some free movements for whatever your body might need. For finally meeting me back in the neutral tabletop position, making sure your hands are below your shoulders, knees below your hips. From here, we're going to lift our right leg up, keeping our knee bent as if we're a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. From here, we're just going to do some hip rotations, painting a circle with our knee, going in one direction before swapping and then moving in the other direction. After a few circles, bring your leg to stillness and moving your knee over to your elbow for placing your right foot by your right pinky finger. And then with your left leg, you can either keep it flat on the mat, or you can tuck your left foot toe in and lift your knee up for a more active lizard stretch. From here, I welcome you to do whichever one feels most comfortable. You can either keep the position, keeping your arms straight. Maybe you can even move your hips from side to side. Or if it's in your practice, you can come down onto your elbows for a deeper stretch. Holding for a few breaths. Feeling the stretch in your hips as you remember to breathe. Finally, coming back up onto your hands, placing your left knee back onto the mat, lifting your right foot off and bringing it back to meet me back in another tabletop once more. Moving on to the left side, lifting your left leg up as if you're peeing on a fire hydrant, and then making some circular motions with your knee, going in one direction before swapping into the other. Really trying to exaggerate the circles, making them as big as possible. Finally, bring your leg to stillness, moving your foot over, placing your foot next to your left pinky finger this time. And once more, you can either keep your knee down or lift it up for an active lizard. And if you manage to go down your elbows on the one side, maybe try go on this side as well. Going in for one last inhale. And as we exhale, coming back onto our hands, keeping our right knee off the mat, we're going to kick our left foot back into a high plank. And from here, you can either lower down by placing your knees onto the mat, or you can keep them straight as we chaturanga down, bringing our whole bodies down and untucking our toes. And from here, you can either push up for a cobra, or maybe an up dog as we inhale. And as we exhale, tucking our toes, pushing back into a downward facing dog. The first one for our session today. From here, you can just maybe walk your dog out a little bit, pedaling your feet back and forth, making sure to focus on a nice straight back with your head hanging nice and loose. Finally, when you're ready, you can meet me in stillness. And from here, we're going to lift our right leg up as high as it can for a three-legged dog. And as we exhale, bringing our knee to our chest before placing our foot right in between our hands and lowering our left knee back onto the mat and untucking our toes. From here, keeping our left hand on the mat, we lift our right hand up, reaching as high as we can for an easy twist. And maybe if it's even in your practice, you can maybe do this half a bind, bending your right arm, placing it on the small of your back. Either looking up or letting your head hang loose, whichever feels most comfortable for your head, as we hold for 2 full breaths. Finally, placing our hands back down on the mat, lifting our left knee off the mat, kicking back into a high plank, and once more, whichever variation is most comfortable, exhale to drop your whole body down. Inhale to go for your back bend of choice, either down dog or cobra. And finally, exhale, pushing back into downward facing dog. Moving on to the left side, kicking your left leg up for three-legged dog as we inhale. Exhale, placing a foot between our hands, lowering our right knee this time. And from here, keeping our right hand on the mat, lifting our left hand up for an easy twist, and maybe even a bind. Really focusing on engaging your core to keep your balance, and trying to pull your shoulder back as far as it can go. Finally, bringing both hands down to the mat, right knee up, kicking back into a high plank. Exhale to lower, inhale to back bend, and exhale for downward facing dog. From here, going with your right leg again, up, inhaling up for three-legged dog. Exhale to bring your foot between your hands again, lowering your knee. As I'm untucking your toes and lifting your hands up for a low crescent lunge. Then as we inhale and then as we exhale, pushing our hips back, straightening our front leg for a half 101. Going through 2 rounds of that. So inhale to go up into a low crescent lunge, and exhale, push back to half splits. Do one more with an inhale, and exhale to push back. Placing both hands to frame your front foot, lifting your back knee back into plank. Exhale to lower, down to chaturanga. Inhale to back bend, and exhale for downward facing dog. Left leg going up. Exhale to place foot between the hands, lowering your back knee, pushing up as we inhale for low crescent lunge, and then exhale for half splits. Going again, inhale to lunge, and exhale to push back. Going through one last one, inhale, and exhale. Hands down to mat, kicking back into your plank. You know where to go from here. Exhale down, inhale to go up, and exhale back into downward facing dog. From here, keeping in your down dog, we're going to lower our elbows down to the mat for a bit of a dolphin pose, holding it, feeling the pressure going on our shoulders, remembering to breathe, making sure your head is nice and loose and nothing is in tension as we hold for 2 breaths. And on our last exhale, pushing our whole body forward to a low plank, either keeping your hands apart or you can grasp them together into a fist, holding for another 2 breaths. Before finally placing both hands at the top, so your fingers are top of the mat, lower your whole lower body down and tuck your toes, and then pushing your chest up, looking up as high as you can for Sphinx. Really trying to pull your shoulders back as far as they can go, opening your chest up, and really feeling your lungs full with oxygen. On your last exhale, you can release your hands and just lower your whole chest down and just take a nice quick break. Then when you guys are ready, you can meet me in a seated position, sitting up straight, legs out in front of you. Maybe just shake them out a little bit, keeping both toes together, inhaling to lift your arms up. Then as you exhale, you're going to lean your body forward, aiming to bring your chest towards your knees. And when you can go as far as you can, and just relax your whole entire body forward. So nice relaxing forward fold. Then keeping your chin to your chest, and slowly start straightening up, going up one vertebra at a time, or finally your head coming up last. You can then bend your left foot in, bringing the bottom of your feet towards your right thigh, left knee down, and from here you can twist your body just 45 degrees as we place our right forearm onto that next arm, lifting our left arm up and reaching over for our right foot for a side bend. Feeling a nice deep stretch in your left rib cage. Finally coming back up, popping our legs, extending our left leg out, bending our right knee, twisting our bodies towards 45 degrees to the right, left arm next to left leg, right arm up, inhale, and then as we exhale, leaning forward, bringing our hand as close to our foot as it can go. Fine, coming back up. Bring our legs together, maybe, and then opening up just mat width apart. Bending your left knee in, extending it out almost as if it's 90 degrees to your leg. Twisting your body once more and placing your forearm down and left arm up for a seated gate pose. Coming back up straight, swapping your legs, then in the left, then in the right knee 90 degrees out, body slightly twisted. Lift our right arm up, bringing it over, trying to reach your toes without forcing anything. Making sure you can still breathe and hold the position without feeling constricted. Or finally sitting up straight, bringing your legs back together and laying down on the mat. From here, keeping your left leg straight, you're going to bend your knee, hugging it into your chest, maybe even drawing some circular motions with your knee, holding your knee with your hands, going in one direction, or swapping over to the other. Finally, releasing your right hand, using your left hand to pull your right knee over for a supine twist. focusing to try and keep your right shoulder grounded onto the mat. And you can either lay your right hand out or cactus it, and maybe even twist to look at your head to look at your right hand. Bring back up, pulling your knee in, giving it one last squeeze before straightening it out, and bringing your left leg in. Once more, we can just do some nice little circular movements with our knee, hinting it in one direction before swapping and going in the other. On our last one, we can release our left hand, laying it out to the left side, and using our right to pull our knee over as far as it can comfortably go, and maybe even twisting our heads to look to the left. On your last breath, straighten your head to look up, bringing your knee back to center, giving it one nice last little squeeze before finally laying it back down and letting your hands rest by your sides for our final pose, Shavasana. Letting our toes hang down to the side, fingers hanging loose as we just relax our whole entire body. Just focus on the breath. Remembering you're now in a safe space. All there is you and no one else. Slowly bringing yourself back to center, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, bringing some movement back into your body, maybe wiggling your feet and your toes, maybe even your fingers touching one another. Slowly bringing in more movement as we go along, and keeping your eyes closed. You can either stay lying down or you can in a seated position, whichever feels most comfortable. Either legs crossed, out straight, or on your chins. Place our hands on our laps, taking our last few breaths of the practice. Thanking ourselves for making time for ourselves. Giving us a nice little tap on the back for looking after ourselves and our bodies and our minds. Finally, reaching your hands up as you inhale, placing your palms together. And as you exhale, bringing your hands down to heart center as we close our practice. want to say thank you for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys in the future.